When a car pushes the boundaries of possibility, it doesn't just break records, it redefines what the future of mobility looks like. The YANGWANG U9 Xtreme is not just another hypercar, it's a living example of how China is rewriting the story of speed technology and engineering. The very mention of 496.22 km per hour sends a chill down the spine, because we're talking about a machine that has crossed into territory reserved for the fastest cars ever built. Imagine the raw force, the aerodynamic mastery, and the engineering brilliance that allow an electric hypercar to shatter barriers that many thought were impossible. From the moment the U9 Xtreme was unveiled, the world knew it wasn't going to play safe. It was designed with one purpose: to dominate speed and performance. The sleek, futuristic lines of its body are not just for beauty, they are sculpted by science, every curve and edge serving the purpose of cutting air resistance at extreme speeds. At its heart lies a quad-motor electric system that generates more than 1,300 horsepower, unleashing instant torque that catapults the car forward with zero hesitation. The acceleration is brutal, pushing you deep into your seat, as if time itself slows down when the car launches. What makes the U9 Xtreme terrifyingly brilliant is the way it remains stable and planted, even when the speedometer climbs past 400 km per hour. This isn't just brute force, it's precision engineering, the kind that blends physics with innovation to make the impossible possible. The record-breaking run at 496.22 km per hour was not just a test of power, it was a test of aerodynamics, tires, cooling systems, and above all, trust in technology. The tires themselves were custom designed to withstand unimaginable rotational forces, temperatures, and friction. At nearly 500 km per hour inside the cabin, the driver is surrounded by futuristic minimalism, a cockpit designed to focus on performance yet provide comfort at insane speeds. The steering wheel looks like it belongs in a fighter jet, reminding the driver this isn't an ordinary car, it's a machine built for war against air itself. The U9 Xtreme also integrates advanced AI-driven stability controls, reading data from sensors in real time and adjusting torque distribution across all four wheels. This intelligence is what prevents chaos at speeds where a small mistake could mean disaster. The sound of the U9 is different from traditional hypercars, no roaring engine but a futuristic electric hum mixed with the whoosh of air rushing violently against the body. Spectators at the record run described the car as a blur, a streak of lightning on asphalt as it screamed past, leaving behind an echo of disbelief. For the automotive world, the YANGWANG U9 Xtreme is more than just a Chinese hypercar, it's a declaration that the new kings of performance may no longer come from the West. Every part of this car has been designed with intent, from its active aerodynamic wings that adjust in milliseconds to its cooling ducts that feed the hungry motors with fresh air. The suspension system is equally futuristic, allowing the car to adapt instantly to keep it glued to the track no matter the speed. Even braking has been reimagined with carbon ceramic discs paired with regenerative braking, delivering confidence at extremes. But beyond numbers, the U9 Xtreme represents ambition, vision, and courage to build something that the world will remember for generations. Breaking the 496.22 km per hour barrier means stepping into history. It places the U9 Xtreme among legends, but with a unique twist. It's fully electric. This milestone isn't just about cars, it's about proving that EVs can dominate even in the world of extreme performance. The symbolism is powerful, because while others doubted whether electric hypercars could rival traditional giants, YANGWANG has delivered proof on asphalt. The car's futuristic DNA comes from a blend of aerospace technology, AI algorithms, and relentless testing across wind tunnels and racetracks. Each element is not just for aesthetics but a piece of the larger puzzle, making sure that when the driver floors the accelerator, the world watches in awe. The U9 Xtreme now carries the badge of being the world's fastest EV, a crown that reshapes the competitive landscape forever. And while numbers speak loudly, it's the vision behind this machine that roars louder. It shows us a future where hypercars are not defined by cylinders and fuel but by innovation, electricity, and human willpower. The YANGWANG U9 Xtreme isn't just fast, it's a glimpse of what tomorrow looks like when we stop fearing limits and start breaking them. This is more than a car, this is the story of humanity's endless chase for speed, power, and excellence. And at 496.22 km per hour, the chase has just reached a whole new level. The YANGWANG U9 Xtreme begins its journey with a vision that was never about blending in, but about standing out as the ultimate statement of power and futuristic design. Its exterior is a symphony of sharp lines, sculpted carbon fiber panels,
and aerodynamic éléments
that make it look less like a car and more like a spaceship built for Earth. The headlights are razor-thin, glowing like the eyes of a predator in the night, ready to strike with precision and dominance. Every intake, every vent, every crease in its body serves a purpose: to channel air perfectly over and under the car, reducing drag while increasing downforce at extreme speeds. Even standing still, the U9 Xtreme feels like it's in motion, as if it's impatient, waiting for the green light to unleash its fury. Underneath this stunning shell lies a technological marvel, a battery and motor system designed not just for endurance, but for sheer violent acceleration. With its quad-motor setup, each wheel becomes a weapon, delivering power independently with surgical precision. This gives the U9 Xtreme torque vectoring abilities that let it corner like a predator hunting its prey, balancing agility with raw force. When the Driver steps on the accelerator, the response is immediate, brutal, and seamless. Launching the car to triple-digit speeds in the blink of an eye. Unlike traditional hypercars, there's no delay, no gear shifts, just a tidal wave of instant electric thrust that pins the driver back into their seat, and yet despite this ferocity the car maintains balance, as if guided by an invisible hand. The advanced AI constantly adjusting power and grip. The aerodynamics are alive with active wings that shift angles in real time, creating stability or reducing drag depending on the demand at top speed. Those wings fold almost flat, cutting through the atmosphere, while hidden vents open to cool the motors battling the heat of extreme performance. The YANGWANG U9 Xtreme is a masterpiece where beauty meets functionality, every detail designed for a singular goal: speed without compromise. Step inside the cabin, and the futuristic aura continues with a cockpit that feels like it belongs in a next-generation jet fighter. The seats are sculpted with lightweight carbon frames and wrapped in advanced materials, ensuring comfort at high G-forces while keeping the driver secure. In front of the driver, a panoramic digital display stretches wide, delivering real-time data on speed, torque distribution, aerodynamics, and battery performance. The steering wheel is compact, loaded with haptic feedback and performance toggles, giving the driver the sensation of commanding an advanced machine rather than a traditional car. There is no clutter. Everything inside has a purpose: minimalism fused with cutting-edge technology. The soundproofing ensures that even at insane speeds the cabin feels calm, but open the window and the roar of air reminds you of the monster you're controlling. At 496.22 kilometers per hour, the cabin feels like an island of control in a storm of chaos, a safe haven where man and machine merge into one. The infotainment system is no afterthought, it integrates seamlessly with AI systems, allowing voice control, gesture recognition, and even biometric monitoring of the driver's stress levels. The U9 Xtreme knows its driver, it adapts to them, watches them, and ensures that focus remains absolute even under extreme pressure. But what truly makes this car legendary is the way it combines raw muscle with futuristic intelligence. It's not just about how fast it can go, it's about how confidently it carries its driver into speeds once thought unreachable. The U9 Xtreme is not just chasing records, it's rewriting them, etching its name into history as the EV that proved electricity can conquer the throne of speed. And as it did on that day when it hit 496.22 kilometers per hour, the world was left stunned in silence before erupting into disbelief and admiration. This was not a dream, this was reality, and reality has just become faster, louder, and more electric than ever before. The YANGWANG U9 Xtreme doesn't just break barriers, it shatters everything we thought we knew about electric hypercars. For decades, the kings of speed were powered by roaring V12s or turbocharged monsters, but now silence has become the new soundtrack of dominance. When the U9 Xtreme rockets forward, there is no engine growl, no exhaust scream, only the violent rush of wind being torn apart by its body. That silence is eerie, intimidating, and more powerful than any roar, because it feels like the future whispering in your ear that the old world is over. At the heart of this machine lies a battery pack designed with next-generation chemistry, optimized not for long-distance daily drives, but for pure performance mayhem. Its cooling systems are a marvel, layers of liquid and air channels working in harmony to keep temperatures balanced. Even as the motors unleash relentless fury, the quad motor system delivers a combined output that eclipses nearly every hypercar on the planet, ensuring the U9 Xtreme is never chasing anyone, it's always leading. Torque vectoring gives it superhuman reflexes, each wheel calculating grip every millisecond, so the car dances through corners like a predator, stalking with elegance and precision. When it launches off the line, the acceleration is violent, the kind that makes your vision blur and your stomach sink as if gravity itself has been rewritten. But it's not just about going straight. The U9 Xtreme is built for control, even at near 500 kilometers per hour, where most cars would become unstable. This beast remains unshakable. The AI is constantly awake, watching the road, sensing traction, measuring every degree of body roll, and predicting the driver's next move before they even make it. This partnership between man and machine creates something rare, a sense of invincibility that very few cars in history have been able to offer. Every piece of carbon fiber, every aerodynamic flick, every vent and intake was tested in brutal wind tunnels, fine-tuned until perfection was achieved. Its drag coefficient is a work of art, low enough to slice through air with surgical precision, but balanced with enough downforce to glue the car to the asphalt. And then there's the record itself, 496.22 kilometers per hour, a speed once reserved for legends and now conquered by a machine born not in Europe but in China. That number isn't just digits on a screen, it's proof that the future of speed no longer belongs only to the West. The YANGWANG U9 Xtreme represents a shift, a reminder that innovation is borderless and the pursuit of performance is now global. When people first saw the number, disbelief spread faster than the car itself. Many thought it had to be a mistake, a miscalculation, but as the footage rolled and the telemetry confirmed the truth sank in, the U9 Xtreme had just placed itself among the immortals of automotive history. Inside the cockpit, the driver described the sensation as surreal, the world blurring into streaks of light, the horizon pulling closer with every heartbeat. The steering felt heavy, but precise the feedback alive, every correction magnified at such insane speeds, yet always under control thanks to the car's intelligence at top speed. Even the tiniest movement of the wheel could mean disaster, but the U9 Xtreme stability turned fear into focus. The suspension, a blend of adaptive dampers and predictive AI, kept the ride astonishingly smooth, even as the car flirted with half 1,000 km/h. Braking from those speeds is just as impressive. Carbon ceramic discs larger than dinner plates clamp down with precision, aided by regenerative systems that feed energy back into the battery. Slowing from near 500 km/h feels like stopping time itself, an orchestration of forces where chaos is reined in with elegance, but beyond numbers and engineering. The U9 Xtreme carries something even more valuable, a statement of ambition, a challenge to the world. It says speed belongs to those who dare, and in daring YANGWANG has placed itself at the top of a mountain few even attempt to climb. This isn't just a car, it's a flag planted in history, announcing that the game has changed forever. At 496.22 km/h, the YANGWANG U9 Xtreme enters a realm where physics feels fragile, where the difference between control and chaos is measured in fractions of a second. Every element of its design exists to fight that chaos, to bend the laws of aerodynamics and keep the car hugging the road even when the wind itself becomes a weapon. The carbon fiber body isn't just lightweight, it's sculpted like a blade, every curve calculated to split air while reducing turbulence that could destabilize the run. The front splitter digs into the wind, channeling airflow under the chassis, while the massive rear diffuser sucks the car downward, creating invisible anchors of stability. The active rear wing isn't just for looks, it shifts angles mid-run, adapting instantly to speed and driver input, providing either drag reduction for straight-line velocity or extra downforce for corners at near 500 km/h. That adaptability is the difference between slicing through air like a missile and becoming airborne like an uncontrollable projectile. The tires themselves are feats of engineering, special compounds built to withstand brutal heat while spinning at speeds that would shred ordinary rubber in seconds. Every revolution of those wheels is a battle against centrifugal force and friction, and yet they hold perfectly balanced, keeping the U9 Xtreme glued to the tarmac. The cockpit, meanwhile, feels like a fusion of fighter jet and laboratory, every gauge digital, every surface carbon, the environment stripped down to pure focus. The driver's seat cradles you like armor-deep bolsters holding the body firm, so that even when G-forces hammer against you, there's no room to slide or lose control. A heads-up display projects critical data directly into the driver's line of sight: speed, energy levels, torque distribution, and aerodynamic adjustments, all visible without looking away from a horizon. The sound inside isn't silence exactly, it's the eerie high-pitched whine of electric motors harmonizing with the rush of wind pounding against the body. To the driver, it feels like being inside a storm. They are somehow controlling steering, bending, commanding. The battery system doesn't just power the motors, it orchestrates energy flow like a maestro, feeding maximum output during acceleration and redistributing during stability phases. Cooling channels snake through the battery pack and motors, carrying heat away at astonishing rates, because at these speeds even 1 degree of imbalance can mean failure. This isn't just performance, it's survival engineering designed to keep the U9 Xtreme alive in conditions no other car dares to endure. And yet, despite the violence of the run, there's a strange elegance to it, a gracefulness, as if the car was born to move at such incomprehensible speeds. Observers watching the top speed attempt described it as unreal, a blur of silver and carbon streaking across the horizon faster than the eye could fully process. Drones struggled to keep up, cameras strained to capture the moment, and still the U9 Xtreme surged ahead like a living thunderbolt. Every second past 400 km/h was history being written, every kilometer pushing humanity further into uncharted automotive territory. When the number 496.22 flashed on the telemetry screen, it was more than a record, it was a declaration. It declared that the electric age isn't just about efficiency, it's about dominance, raw speed, and redefining what's possible. It declared that China has arrived not as a follower, but as a leader ready to challenge Ferrari, Bugatti, and Koenigsegg on the world's fastest stage. And most importantly, it declared that the future of speed belongs not to noise but to silence. To the haunting whir of electrons tearing through time itself. The moment the YANGWANG U9 Xtreme rockets past 400 km/h, the world outside the windshield transforms into a tunnel of blurred light, and color trees vanish into streaks. The horizon stretches unnaturally long, and every passing object feels like it's being pulled backward by invisible hands. For the driver, time itself bends, seconds feel heavier, more deliberate, yet everything happens too fast for conscious thought to fully catch up. Reflexes take over, instincts sharpened by countless hours of training become the only language that matters in this space between man and machine. The steering wheel becomes an extension of the driver's pulse, subtle corrections keeping the car perfectly centered, while the slightest oversteer could mean disaster. Even breathing feels choreographed, a rhythm timed to the rise and fall of acceleration, so oxygen fuels the body without breaking focus. Inside the cockpit, there's no room for fear, only Focus a razor-thin balance between trust in the car and trust in one's own ability to master it. The vibrations running through the seat and will remind the driver that the car is alive, muscles of metal and energy working in furious harmony at 496.22 kilometers per hour. G-forces press against the body, pinning it down, as if gravity itself has grown heavier than ever before the neck strains. Against the helmet, the chest feels compressed with every surge of acceleration, yet adrenaline masks the discomfort with raw exhilaration. The view through the windshield is hypnotic, a never-ending river of asphalt pulling the driver deeper into speeds. Embrace the sound of the electric motors mixes with the roar of the wind, creating a symphony unlike any combustion engine could ever produce. It's cleaner, sharper, more futuristic, the sound of progress echoing like a promise that the future is already here. Outside, spectators watch in disbelief, unable to reconcile what their eyes are seeing with what they know of physics and possibility. The car doesn't just move, it slices through space as if reality itself is struggling to keep up with it. Cameras freeze frame the moment, yet still can't capture the sheer violence and elegance of that speed combined. Every person witnessing knows instinctively they are watching history, a new benchmark that will echo for decades in the automotive world. The driver finally lifts off the accelerator and the car begins to slow, brakes glowing red as heat waves shimmer from the carbon ceramic discs. Deceleration is its own battle, the body thrust forward by momentum, even as harnesses and bolsters lock the driver safely into place. The silence that follows feels deafening, the sudden stillness after a storm, the echo of speed lingering in the bones. When the final data confirms the top speed of 496.22 kilometers per hour, the driver exhales with a mix of triumph and disbelief. For a brief moment, they shared space with the impossible. They touched a realm few humans will ever experience. This wasn't just about breaking records, it was about redefining the edge of performance, about proving that electricity can outpace fire. It was about showing the world that China's engineering can not only compete with legends, but surpass them on the ultimate stage of speed. The YANGWANG U9 Xtreme has etched its name in history not as a car, but as a phenomenon. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.